In the United States of America, we have a lot of old people in our government. There's a lot of old congressmen, senators, even presidents. And what's funny is we have age minimums. For an example, to be in the Congress or House of Representatives, you have to be 25 years old. To be a senator, you have to be 30 years old. To be president or vice president, you have to be 35 years old. And many governors are 30 years old. Like where I live, North Carolina, it's 30 years old. But then there is no age limit. You have people who are 83, Mitch McConnell, 85, Pelosi. It's ridiculous. And these people can't even stay on their feet. And they spend a lot of time complaining about, prices rising. And, some have different interpretations of what prices are rising depending on what party they're from. You know what I mean? You hear conflicting things all the time in politics. That's not news. But many of these people were alive when like fucking milk was 5 cents. Okay, these people are very old, and I think they should be taken care of. I think they should relax, have a nice retirement. I wish them nothing but the best and the best health. But you can't represent a country, especially a country that has a lot of young people. Old people don't represent young people. We need some people to represent our generation. You know what I mean? I want you guys to take a look at this video. This happened 5 days ago, I think. And just watch.
I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
Yeah, that happened. And by the way, Mitch McConnell's 83 years old. He's a senator from Kentucky, and he's part of the Republican Party, by the way. And he's been in office since 1985. Okay, I was born in 2002. He's been in office nearly 20 years, around 15 to 20 years before I was born. That's insane. And he is still in office. And here's the thing, this is not the first time he's felt in Congress. There's been many other incidents. One of them, I'll show you in just a second here. This one happened at like a luncheon, colleagues say. Like, I don't think there was video footage of it, but you can see he has like the bandages on his face. There's just reports of it. But this was, let's see when this was. This was 2024 December, so this really wasn't that long. Wait, actually, holy shit, it's about November. That's kind of was almost a year ago. That's so weird. I low-key kind of forgot it was the end of 2024. Or 2025. Fuck, dude. I'm like losing my mind. It's these old politicians, I'm telling you, they're making me lose my mind. It's all the lizard people. Okay, these people, they're lizard people. They're shapeshifters, I'm telling you. I also want to be clear that I'm not making fun of his health, okay? I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on. I hope that you have the best health you can. I hope if you need to, retire, okay? Retire, take care of yourself. I'm not making fun of their health. I hope they are doing as best as they can. But these people are representing our country, especially when our countries go through hard times. That's not true. Hard times has not happened in our generation in the United States. You know what they say, strong times create strong men and weak times create weak men. And we're in that weak time with weak men, okay? Topic for another video. I feel like I say that every single video. There's always something I say. I'm like, oh, I should make a video about that. But it's true. We live in a weak time, and we need strong leaders. We can't have this, or even people who are younger who just have no backbone or are brainwashed and they just, use the talking points and just listen to what people are feeding them into their brains. It's ridiculous. I want to show you. This is how he was walking. And this is actually really concerning because keep in mind, other countries are looking at our leaders and this makes us look weak. But he's walking like this. He's literally like, and fucking, falls down. You know what I mean? And this could all be avoided if there was a term limit. Give them a nice retirement plan. He's, you know what? Love him or hate him. Probably most likely dislike him, but he's been in Congress for all. Give him a nice retirement plan. He does not need to be represented. And by the way, this is not the only person. We have next up Elizabeth Warren. She is 76 years old and she's a U.S. Senator from Massachusetts. And she's been in office for a while. I'm not really sure how long. It doesn't matter. It's way too long. I want you to watch this.
Voting in the affirmative. Baldwin, Blunt Rochester, Durbin, Heinrich.
Yeah, so that happened in July of 2025. So that was also recently too. She's actually the youngest one on this list that I have. That's crazy. 76 is the youngest one on this list. There was a guy, he was a lawmaker from Mississippi, lieutenant governor, 77 years old. His name is Delbert Hoseman, I believe is how you pronounce it. But this one's a little more serious. Like, I really hope he's okay. And this is not necessarily just him falling because he's old, he collapses, but it's a sign maybe he's old and maybe he needs to take care of his health. Maybe this is just not the place he should be in representing our country. I think he should be relaxing, making sure his health is okay. This is just not what he should be doing at this point in time.
Multi-year payouts. Each of these has several more.
Dilbert.
I hope he's doing okay, but this is another. I mean, look, there's more. There's more out there than the ones I'm going to show you, but I just think this is proof that we just have too many people in our government who are old. We should be getting people. That's fine. We can have people in their 60s. If they're mentally sharp in their 70s, that's fine. We should just have a lower amount. We should have term limits. 75 is probably a good one. 80 is a bit pushing it. There's some 80-year-olds who are very sharp, but you know, it's rule for the majority, right? So it just doesn't make sense to me where you have to, you know, be a certain age to get in, but once you're in or you're eligible, you can just stay in for life. That you're not supposed to serve your country for life. You're supposed to serve terms. You're not a lifelong servant to the country. Or at that point, it's not really a servant. You kind of become the flip side where you're sort of owning the country, because a lot of them, insider trading, corruption, they have their salaries 150K. And Nancy Pelosi, her salary is like 150K, or I think it's under 200,000 a year. She has around 200 million in the bank. Okay, there is no reason why somebody who has 150K salary, government salary, should have 200 million. But here's the caveat. If you are a representative or a senator, a decent amount of them are slightly famous or decently famous. There's a lot you've never heard of, but some of them are very famous. And they could have side hustles. They could start a business. There are other ways they can get money. Okay, I don't have an issue with that. Okay, you got elected. You're in a position of power. Why not use your momentum? Write a book. Continue your side hustle. You're gonna get more money. But it's a little odd about how many of them are rich and how rich they are. It's not like they have 150K salary, but they had a book that did well, so they have 2 million in the bank. They have $1 million, but no, they have 200 million like Pelosi. That's just no. Okay, and the longer she's in office, the longer she's going to get money. That's just how it is. It's about money and power. Wake up, that's how the world is. Everything's about money and power. I think everyone watching, you guys are, if you're watching this video, you're smart and you know that. So that's not very surprising, but it's just, it seems to never end. And I have more. I have one more for you.
It was created by the ex-user Il Donaldo Trumpo, and there are many clues that the video is fake. Pelosi's face clearly becomes another person early in the video. Also, her shoes change.
Yeah, that video was AI. It was fake, but it kind of serves a purpose. Like, I'm not trying to paint that as that actually happened. It didn't. Someone just made that. It's AI. But that is how people view some of these senators and congressmen, these politicians. Because that's how some of them are. They're literally like I'm sorry to say it. I'm not trying to be mean. I pray that they have the best health they can be in. But I mean, they're on their last legs. Some of them are about in walkers or are in walkers. And you've seen videos of, remember Joe Biden, he fell up the stairs once or twice. There's so many old people. I don't understand. But the thing about power is it's not meant to be permanent. It's meant to be borrowed for a while, used wisely, and then passed on to new people. Because what your country should be doing is it should be electing people maybe not, you don't have to elect a whole Congress of young people. It's good to have younger people. That could even mean in their 30s for congressmen. Keep in mind, they can be 25. They were eligible at 25 to be a congressman. If they're 30, they're still on the younger side. If you get just new generations bring new ideas, they bring new approaches to things, and they're younger, they're full of energy. You need people full of energy in life to run the country. People look to the US for strong leadership, okay? Experience is great, but you need strength and strong leadership. And that's fine. Listen, if we have a few old people, middle-aged and young, that's good. That's a mix because that represents everyone. But having all these old people does not represent the country, because the country is not the same as it was 40 years ago when they came up. And sometimes they act like it is, or they speak like it is. It's a little bit ridiculous. And by a little bit, I mean it's really bad, okay? Mitch McConnell, he's probably one of the worst offenders of it. But come on. A government that never changes its faces cannot adapt to a world that's constantly changing and having new problems. You need to adapt. Our government needs to be constantly adapting. We should have these age limits and term limits. Okay, I don't know if I made that clear earlier, but term limits. You shouldn't be able to get voted in when you're 35 and then be a senator or congressman until you're 85. Mitch McConnell, since 1985, he's been in office. No term limits. That's crazy. And for the president, we do, which that makes sense, but it also makes sense we do for the Senate and Congress. One saying that I do like, and I think it speaks volumes, is the longer someone stays in power, the less they remember what it's like to live under it. They get very consumed about the power they have, the voice they have, the money they get. You know, Nancy Pelosi, again, I'm going to bring it up. And I think they just get sucked into that inner circle of politicians, and who knows what corruption goes on. There's probably so much that we don't even know that goes on. I'm sure it's worse than we could imagine. But they get in these little circles. They have all these advisors, and they're in their own little world, you know, up here. I'm not convinced that a lot of them even care if they're doing a good job or not. I think they just want to keep their job. That's what it comes down to, if you ask me. And unfortunately, a lot of our government is stuck in a time capsule where they're trying to run the country the same as ran 50 years ago, because that's when they grew up, because it's always been that way. And that's not a knock to people who are on the older side in Congress. There's some great ones for sure. But we can't have unlimited term limits. We can't have no age limit. There's so many young people that could do a fantastic job if they just got a chance. But people, for some reason, keep voting the same people in over and over and over and over again. So part of it is some of the people who just keep voting these people in. And I don't understand that. I really don't. We just need new leadership. A fresh pair of eyes will do wonders for the country. Look, I'm 23 years old. If you triple my age, 23, 46, 69, don't make a joke. Don't do it. These people, all those people, Mitch, Elizabeth Warren, Hoseman, Pelosi, are all older than triple my current age. I'm not young. Okay, I'm not old. I'm 23. It is the youth, but 23 is not like, it's not like I'm a teenager. I'm not in my 30s, but come on. I mean, that's insane to me. I think I recognize this name. I think he's been in the last 8 elections I voted in. You know what? I'll vote for him again. Go ahead. Have another term. Have some more money. Anyway, I thought I'd make a video on that because it's a topic a lot of people talk about, and it frankly kind of pisses me off a little bit. But, you know, I pray that these people are all doing well. All right, I rest my case. I think that's enough old people, politics, term limits talk for the day. God bless. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Let me know your thoughts too. What do you think about this? Do you have any extra opinions? Feel free to comment down below. And, yeah.